guys, today's video talking about leading with love. This has never been more crucial than right now, this beautiful world we live in, than for us to start awakening to the truth that we are spiritual beings living spiritual lives, and that from our highest point of consciousness we are actually one mind, one communal consciousness. And what pulls us away from that understanding and that knowing, and many people who have had their third eye open will attest to this, is that it's our survival animal pain body reaction, which is driven by fear. When we get frightened, we play out the predictable patterns of behavior, the judging, the violence, blame, hanging on to shame and toxic guilt. And we see everything as separate. We define everything as material. We define everything by our senses, and we lose touch with a greater spiritual knowing, or a greater, and of course then a spiritual purpose is completely not accessible. But what we've really got to come to understand here is that fear keeps us in our place. Fear keeps us recreating the past, the teachings that we didn't learn in the past. And we get stuck in this wheel. It's a karmic wheel. I mean, this stuff's promoted through the television. This is apparently the normal way for us to exist and to communicate with each other, all through what's on TV and movies. But what I'm asking of you today is to lead with love and to choose something greater. And to understand that it's fear that drives unconscious behavior. When people are behaving punishingly, or people are attempting to control you, they're coming from a place of separation and ultimately fear. It's fear that drives us out of our heart center, out of the seat of the soul. And then, of course, as you know, once you feel frightened, your thinking mirrors your feeling. So this is 99% of the time, our thinking just mirrors the feeling in the body. And so we can't think any greater than that fear. And as soon as we're in fear, we're in fight or flight, and we see more division, we see more threat, more reason to behave punishingly or to be more fearful, etc., etc., etc. So what I'm asking of you today is, could you choose something greater? Could you look inside yourself and say, there's no one to blame, there's no one to judge. I can give love and expect nothing in return. I can be the example of the change I want to see in the world. Because if all we're doing is coming back with more fear, more judgment, or blaming our brothers and our sisters, or another country, another religion, people with different colour skin, or sexual preference, we keep ourselves distant from the deeper spiritual knowing. We remain prisoners, if you will, of our own survival behaviours. I'm going to close out just by saying, I saw Wayne Dyer speak just a fortnight before he died. I actually didn't know who he was. It was only the last few years I looked into his work and his teachings. But something he said that day really resonated with me. He said, the divine loving presence that's growing your fingernails and beating your heart is growing the fingernails and beating the heart of every person in this world, regardless of the color of their skin, their political view, or their sexual preference. I'm just going to leave you with that, leave you with the wise words of Wayne Dyer, and ask you just to give love and expect nothing to come back. From my heart to yours, peace.